What's up, guys? It's Devin of That Child Gamer. Welcome back to another Doki Doki summertime video. Now, we left off last time where we were at the library once again, bumping into Yuri, and we took Yuri to dinner basically. So with that being said, we left off here, where we're now back for the second day, I believe. Second or third, I can't remember. I think it's the second. But we're back, and we're going to head back into it. Yeah, let's go. How about we play the acronym game once more? Count me in. Maybe you'll actually win this time, Devin. I didn't know there was winners, Natsuki. Oh, come on. Yes, yes, yes. Fantastic. Everyone's on board. Let's get started, shall we? Yay! Cool, okay. So, oh yeah, that's another thing. Yuri apparently had to do something. I don't know what she was doing, but she has to do something. I don't remember what she was doing. But she's gone. She's not here today because why not? So, we're going to do what we did last time. Like last time, we impressed Natsuki for the first day, then Yuri for the second. So now we're going to do Yuri for the first day, Natsuki for a second, and then we're going to continue with Yuri. So Natsuki's gonna be second, so this means that we have to do cute stuff again. Panda Nap Garden, Post Nursery Gossip, or Portable Network Graphics. Can we still actually impress Yuri? That's what I want to know. Let's do Portable Network Graphics. Nobody jumped. Interesting. So why don't we do the nobody? Let's try and do Yuri's anyway, just to see what would happen. Visual novel. Ooh. ROFL. Rolling on the floor laughing, rescued ordinary flying lemurs. Ooh, you can't even do anything with this one. Oh, now we have to choose Natsuki or Sayori. Rolling on the floor laughing. That sounds like Sayori. PEBKAC. Problems exist between keyboard and chair. Pandas exist because koalas accept competition. It's gonna be the, that one. BG. Bad gas. Background or being greater. Background. ER. Emergency room. And I can't choose another one. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, or table grade icing fork. OWO. Surprise face or openly whispered onion. That one. Talk to you later, or tis tis you're lazy. You're lazy. RIP. Rest in peace. Rest in pepperoni. Recycled ice pack. Rest in peace. Ooh, I wonder if we still did Yuri somehow. Okay, everybody, I hope you all had fun. Yeah, I guess. Devin? Sure, I'm glad we got to play again. Me too. Me too. Oh, okay. The game concludes and Monika announces the winner. Somehow I managed to get most of the votes, which is a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Well done, Devin. Yeah, just don't let it get to your head. Huh, thanks, Monika. By the way, did you play this game in Literature Club? It seems fitting. No, in fact, we usually don't play games with each other. Sounds like I made the right call by avoiding a boring club. But don't get the wrong idea, we did plenty of other things. Yeah, like when we went to the library together to find books we're all interested in. I'm sorry. I'm waiting for an important text message, so I keep trying to look over it at the same time while I'm recording. I know I shouldn't be doing that, but it's important, so if it happens, then I apologize. And you managed to find one with the worst because you judged it by its cover. Huh? Which one? I think it was called Wathered World or something like that. Okay. Monika and I thought it was some weird comedy story, but it took itself terribly seriously. Like Yuri. What was the book about anyway? Honestly, I don't even remember anymore. I remember the contents, but I couldn't tell you what it's about either. Although I can extract a simple lesson from it. Sometimes the creation is so off the mark that publishing a second edition can't possibly fix all the issues in the original work. Harsh. It's better to face the truth head-on than to live in a delusion that might hurt others as well. Deep. Meta commentary. What was that? What was that? Nothing. There's a short pause in our conversation. As I look over with the girls in front of me, I'm pleasantly surprised at my mind for gifting me with a non-lewd thought. Okay. Do you all remember last year's school's festival? Yeah, what about it? I don't recall seeing any of you that day. Did you do any club-related activities for the occasion? You know, cupcakes and this, Sayori jumping up and down. Oh, and poems? Hey, I made those cupcakes alone. I even had to keep an eye on you so that other students can get a chance to at least look at them before you shovel them into your mouth. Is that so? Natsuki even put letters on the cupcakes with icing. I remember that. One of them had spicy written on it, correct? Yeah, I wanted to see somebody else try it first. Why didn't you just ask Natsuki about it? A cupcake labeled as spicy sounds pretty unusual after all. I did. I just had to see if he'd go for it. So, you sat around with cupcakes and the main focus was on our performance. My eyes widen and my mind fumbles with the possibilities of 4 girls performing. And free cupcakes. And what did you perform? Our own poems. Jeez, don't remind me of that part. Aw, come on, you all did great. I appreciate the input, but no. Well, we can at least agree that Todd Todd. Fucking Todd. Todd has made a comeback. This is we're taking a turn, boys. So, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Todd was the guy that was trying to join our club in Doki Doki, a Lost Chapter, the mod that we recently just finished. I'm like 97% certain that he was the one behind all the creepy shit going on in the background. And I don't trust Todd anymore. I used to think he was an okay guy, but now I don't. And Todd has now made an appearance in Doki Doki Summertime. Don't know how I feel about that. Well, we can all at least agree that Todd's performance was stellar, right? Frickin' Todd again? Is he one of the club members? God, no. Sadly, we were not the club he was looking for. Thank God. In fact, he doesn't even go to the same school anymore. If I recall correctly, he went on to continue studies in a music school. Aw, now I kinda like him again. That reminds me, I'm sorry everybody, but I should be leaving now. What, already? Yes, I want to make sure that I have time before taking my final exam. You study even during summer? I hope you're not overburdening yourself, Monika. You should worry about yourself instead, Sayori. Besides, don't you remember what I said about your wrinkles on your forehead? Fine, fine. Sayori waltzes over to Monika and gives her a massive hug that looks like she's about to take her for a dance. Hey, good luck, make us proud. Will do, my dear Vice President. Ooh, that was a thing in the background. Guess it was a little bit of a bug. Monika turns to me, her smile becoming just a little brighter before speaking. Devin, you guys didn't see that either because my face came in the way. Devin, I appreciate you joining us today. I'd love to stay more to get you know you better. Same here. But I want to make sure you have some fun time before taking my final exam. It's useful to get into the right frame of mind before performing. Is somebody coming to pick you up? Actually, this time I'm going by bus. Why? Do you want to give me a ride? Oh boy, focus. I don't have a car. Too bad. But her eyes light up while I get a cold sweat. God, this is gonna sound so stupid, but I can't back out now. I could accompany you. Please just say no and leave. Alright. Huh? But I'm leaving now, so don't take too long to say goodbyes. Oh, sure thing. Shit, I'm locked in. With only a second long pause, I go over to the other 2 girls. They give me a curious look as they turn to leave with a class star girl. The 2 of us walk in silence, an awkward one at that. You know, my father always used to tell me life is like a chocolate box. You never know what you get, right? No, people just eat the sweet contents and fill the box with some boring stuff like a sewing kit. That doesn't sound like a good analogy. He has some weird sense of humor. He at least has one. I wish my dad was a bit more like that. Don't tell me your dad that you like dad jokes, because if you do, you're dad to me. Or you're dad to me. That was so bad. Oh no, I should have said that. I clearly crossed the line. Sorry, it took me a moment to get it. My dad doesn't joke around. My dad doesn't joke around with me like that. Even on rare occasions when he's proud of my achievements, he sounds more like a school principal giving a speech on the average student's GPA increasing. I'm sorry, I shouldn't complain like this. Who am I to whine over these little things, right? It's fine, Monika. That's why I'm here, to hear you out. We all have our problems. We're all human. Yeah, human. Not code or anything like that. We're not lines of code or anything. We're not just sprites on a freaking screen. We're not that. We're real, right? Sometimes people really make me feel like I'm not. Don't tell me they say you're a female dog. I'll grab them by their collars and teach them a lesson. No, you won't. Yeah, you're right. In all seriousness, what do they say to you? It's not really what they say, but rather the way people treat me. Most of the girls are envious of me, but they're all smiles when talking to me. The boys either avoid me, act terribly flustered, or straight up treat me like I'm some prize to be earned. On most days, I just push all this aside and drown myself in work and studying. But sometimes it's like I'm alone. What about your mom? Yeah, Mom. She's a busy woman, always traveling and working on court cases. She wants me to work in the same line of work, citing the fact that she's financially independent. But seeing the dozens of hours she spends working and away from home, I'm finding it less appealing year by year. Why don't you just go and study something you love? I wouldn't earn enough to have the same standard of living. Not that earning a lot seems to make my parents happy. She goes silent again. This time I don't feel like joking around would be appropriate. Interesting. We sit next to each other on the bus. This whole situation reminds me of the dozens, if not hundreds, of occasions that a seat was available next to me and a pretty girl, like Monika, just walked right past. Now here she is. Too bad she won't stay with me. Let's change the subject. Why don't you tell me about yourself? Where do I start? I was born at the turn of millennia. I was born before that. This isn't a competition, Monika. I bet she's already traced her, too. For a moment, I think whether it would be worse if I had said that and she didn't get the reference, or if she did. Sorry, couldn't we skip to the present? You know, what kinds of things you like to do in your free time? Ladies first? Fine, but I won't let you off the hook just yet. As you already know, I'm the president of a club. That's a handful. I've also started playing piano last year. Learning it, that is. I'm still taking lessons. I like to go running on a regular basis. Lastly, but most importantly, I read books. But you didn't expect that from the president of a literature club. Should have seen that coming. How about you, Devin? What do you like to do in your free time? Well, you know, typical guy stuff. Like what? Monika smiles at me sweetly, but with a piercing gaze that's ready to call up my bullshit at a moment's notice. Baseless statements, that is. Oh, manga? Crap, what do I say here? Monika's the exact opposite of me. She's always productive while I just kind of waste away my time. Well, I like to work out at the gym, actually. What am I saying? I don't work out. I do too. In real life, I do go to my local gym and I do work out. It's a lot of leg work though. It's not like anything of the upper area. It's more of just my legs and stuff because I play tennis. Still, maybe I can make this work. Really? Which one? Oh, there it is. She's catching on. I don't remember the name of the gym because I just recently started visiting it, but it's in a nice area. I used to do it. My workout sessions at home. Yeah. Oh, this is my stop. See you next time, Devin. Next time? Sure. I'm sure there'll be a next time. Oh, wink. Take care until then. Monika waves me goodbye before stepping off the bus, and I can feel my face turning red in return. Gee, she really has an effect on me. After switching to a different bus, I start making my way home. On the way, my thoughts race around all the dumb things I said to Monika. Still, it feels like I made at least one right choice by joining the girls. It all went surprisingly well, in fact better than any interaction I had with the girls at school. Seeing how friendly they were to me, maybe I made a good impression on all of them. Maybe I'll be able to get to know them even more in my future? I hope Yuri will be back for the next meeting. After all, she still seems rather mysterious to me, even after our encounter on Tuesday. Still, my thoughts are occupied with Monika. Not that I have a chance. But miracles can happen, right? So what the hell route am I taking? Yuri or Monika? I don't get it. Daydreaming aside, I had to make up my mind whether I'm actually willing to start working out. I think, honestly, like, if you try to impress the person when they're not there, I think that's when it reverts to Monika. I'm not sure how true that is, but it's my guess, really. It's an ordinary Thursday. Would be the most boring sentence ever to start a day. I launch out of my bed and land on my slippers with such an accuracy that I'm tempted to tell everybody how awesome it was. After stretching a bit, I look out my window and reminisce over the movie I watched yesterday. I wouldn't say it was funny or cool, but rather something different. It was a war movie, but the story wasn't as focused on shooting and big explosions as the ones I usually watch. Luckily for me, it didn't focus on the romantic stuff either. I can only recall 2 scenes that would fit the description that weren't very long. As I understood it, the plot centered around a guy around my age, and most of it happened just before his country entered a war. The protagonist himself was kind of funny, but not in a comedic way, with the occasional banter or snarky remark. Unlike some other stories I've heard of, he didn't join the army because of his girlfriend or whatever. He actually wanted to prove to his father, his community, and a girl who he felt unrequited love for, he's no longer the little troublemaker he was known as. The ending scene was kinda annoying, but exciting at the same time. He just received a letter from the girl he loved, inquiring about his fate, when his group spotted the enemy approaching their camp. With a handwritten letter in his breast pocket, and his newly found friends by his side, they prepared for the defense. Then, right before the battle began, the movie was over. It kinda makes you wish for a sequel, but at the same time the story filled me with a feeling of ambition? Yeah, I felt ambitious. It's either the fact that I had a good night's sleep or some of that ambition is still lingering from yesterday. Whatever it is, or whatever it's, apparently, I feel more motivated to do something new than on most days. As I was going to the kitchen, I say goodbye to my mom in person for a change. She was just about to leave. Seeing her go to work kind of made me feel bad about staying home with literally nothing planned for my entire day. This thought kept me company as I had my morning coffee in front of the house. A light breeze aided me in the cooling hot drink. While enjoying the sweet milky taste, I tried to come up with the possible activities for today. The mug was half empty, or half full, when I saw a person running past our house in what appeared to be workout clothes. Not being an athletic person, I quickly dismissed the idea of doing the same. However, what I said to Monika in an attempt to save face might be a thing I could actually try. I helped Dad and some friends move into the with moving in the past. It wasn't that bad. Even if I got a little sweaty. I'm guessing a gym membership doesn't come cheap with all the expensive equipment they provide, but thinking about it makes me curious. How much is it actually? Going back to my room, I search from local gyms and click on the first one that the search engine gave me. It looks really slick and professional with photos, short to the point descriptions and whatnot. The thing that really grabbed my attention is the red headline saying they have 1 month tryout period, but the offer expires this week. This is exactly what I was looking for. If I change my mind, which is very likely, I can just get a refund and maybe buy a video game instead. That's funny. What a coincidence since this website was the first one to pop up on my screen. After spending almost all my remaining allowance on the membership fee, I embark on my journey to this foreign place. Standing in front of the gym, I feel hesitant to enter. There's an automated sliding door or a huge well-lit logo on the wall and a colorful information board neatly placed next to the entrance. Heck, even little reception from what I can see from the outside. I'm not trying to think myself out of it, but the whole building looks like a place you'd have to earn your way into, and otherwise you'll get crushed like a low-level player who's trying a solo or boss monster. I've been miling out for a minute or two now. Looking at my reflection in the eye, I take a deep breath. Here goes nothing. Hey, look at that scrawny kid. Oh man, it was only 3 seconds! I spent at least an hour at the gym. Although that statement is true, what I actually did during that time wasn't amazing at all. I tried to do something weightlifting with different kinds of equipment, but I must have been really bad at it because the coach came up to me and asked if I was doing That's so funny! I confess to being a complete newbie to this whole thing, and I'm just improvising. Then this coach said they usually help only premium customers, but I can get a little sample of their services. Maybe it's only because I barely know anything, but what I've been told in the few minutes was very helpful. After I tried out everything that seemed interesting, I went to take a nice hot shower. Used some deodorant too, just in case I got sweaty without me noticing it. I step out onto the street and take a deep breath before I look around in hopes of getting an idea of what to do next. As a girl approaches from a distance, her confident stride catches my eye and holds my attention for a few seconds. It's Monika, isn't it? Those few seconds were just enough time for her to get close enough for us to recognize each other. It's Monika. How come she's walking around this area? That's a stupid question. She has a lot going on in her life, so of course she's on the go. Without consciously making a decision, I wait for her. She waves at me and shoots me a genuine smile if she's actually glad to see me. I try to suppress my grin, and I can feel my mouth curl into an awkward, stiff smile. As she comes closer to me, I keep looking away repeatedly. Her footsteps stop. She's standing barely more than an arm's reach away from me. Haven't seen you around this part of town, Devin. Is this the gym where you were telling me about yesterday? Yeah, I guess, huh? I'm glad you think this is a nice area. Did I say stuff like that yesterday, or was I too wrapped up in my attempt to not look like a shut-in loser? Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Wait, why does it matter what I think about it? No reason. Anyways, where were you heading before I got petrified by her crazy, gorgeous gaze? I was thinking about what my next task should be for the day. Yeah. Then I saw you, and I get it. I like to take a walk when I want to organize my thoughts. Maybe it could help you too. So why don't you come and walk me to the music shop? You'll sort out your thoughts, and I'll have some company on my journey. It's a win-win situation. You can tell me all about your plans, for example. Man, this is somehow scary and tempting at the same time. But I'll go with her. There's no telling when I'll get a chance like this again. However, if I go, I could easily embarrass myself and guarantee she won't want to associate with me. I feel like I'm going to regret this, but I'll go with you, Monika. Okay. She walks past me and turns back with an elegant little twirl. Then take the first step. What does she mean? Is this one of those hint guys miss all the time? I mean literally take the first step, otherwise we won't get anywhere. Oh, right, sorry. Off to a great start, Devin. I avoid talking about my supposed plans for a while by throwing the ball back to her and ask her about the things she's involved in. The only surprise I have regarding the list of things she does is that she actually has time for it all. A day is 24 hours for her too, right? How could she do so many things? Well, I'm not one to talk. If I achieve 2 important things on the same day, that's already a busy day for me. Still, I had to think of something to do next. She said I could walk with her to the music shop, but after that, she'd probably like to do her thing on her own terms. Plus, she asked me about what I'm going to do after this. I'm afraid stomping noobs is not going to cut it for an answer. We arrive at what appears to be a music shop, but seems to be closed with a note attached to the door. Monika walks closer and reads it. That's a shame. They had to close due to some unspecified personal reasons. Well, I assume you have to go and take care of your own business, so I don't want to keep you up. It's been nice talking to you. Wait a second, Monika. I could stay some more if you'd like. You're not thinking about skirting your responsibilities, are you? No, not at all. I thought it over while we were walking and had some time to kill at the moment. Is that so? Let me quickly improvise a plan. This really oh god, it squeaked. This really reminds me of a little thing my dad likes to tell me. Improvise, adapt, overcome. I don't know where he got it from, but it's a useful little reminder for me to not waver when facing new challenges. Here's an idea. If you aren't too tired after your workout, we could go for a long walk around town. I kind of felt bad about not going hard during my workout, but it seems like that wasn't such a bad thing after all. So, I should take the first step, right? It's up to you, Devin. When life comes knocking at your door, ignoring it is one option. I heard of life giving out lemons, but what does this knocking on my door one mean? I don't want any lemons right now. Oh, okay. Let's go, I guess. That's funny. I still haven't gotten my text message yet, so I'm just gonna sit here. I'm not even gonna worry about it. We got 8 minutes left in the video, and it's like, I'll wait. We start walking what appears to be the direction picked at random. She seems to know this area well, so I assume she also knows where we might end up at. I'm relieved when our conversation trails off from sharing our plans, and we talk more about basic things, subjects of school, music, traveling, etc. It's a level of seriousness I'm comfortable with. She's told me she's been practicing some jazz piano songs. She's also said that in a few weeks she'll be ready to present it to all of us. Seeing her being so passionate about it makes me want to listen to her how far ahead she is after working on it for months. Our focus shifts towards even less serious topics, and at this point, we were just messing about like we've been friends for a long time. Hey Devin, want to hear a joke? Sure, what you got? Knock knock. Oh god, why did it have to be a knock knock joke? I heard more of them in my life than actual knocks on doors. Who's there? Is it just Monika? Just who? Just Monika. There it is. Is that supposed to be a reference to something or simply a bad joke? Devin would never understand because it's a reference to what they're literally in right now. Thanks for the reminder, Monika. I haven't played the original game in forever, so it's funny that that comes up again. I completely forgot about the whole Just Monika thing. But I just after she said just, I'm like, wait a minute, I remember Just Monika. Either way, I forced myself to smile as to not offend her by keeping a poker face. Good one. Want to hear a different kind of joke? Go ahead. I'm tempted to say me, but she probably considers me a joke already, so it would just come off as a statement of fact. Please don't get upset if I don't laugh afterwards. That's okay. I'm used to. My voice trails off as I catch myself before going off about my emptiness. I don't even know what that says. Inept? I don't know. I searched my memory though early and try to recall one of the few really good dad jokes. The good jokes Dad told me when I was younger. It won't be the same when he told it to me, but it should be good enough. Here's one. Once upon a time, there was a millionaire who collected live alligators. He kept them in a pool in the back of his mansion. The millionaire also had a beautiful daughter who was single. One day, the millionaire decides to throw a party. At the height of the event, he announces a competition and details the terms of it. My dear guests, I have a proposition to every man here. I will give $1 million or my daughter to the man who can swim across this pool full of alligators and emerge unharmed. To those brave few who would dare to try, come to the side of the pool. Several men came from the crowd, and they started looking at the alligator-ridden water in front of them. As the millionaire was playfully teasing them about looking like scared little boys, they heard the sound of a large splash in the pool. The guy was swimming in with all his might, and the crowd began to cheer him on. Finally, he made it to the other side of the pool, unharmed. The millionaire was impressed, and he said, "That was incredible, astonishing. I didn't think anyone would even dare to try. Well, I must keep my end of the bargain. Take your pick. My daughter or the $1 million dollars." The guy catches his breath and says, "Listen, I don't care about the money. I don't care about your daughter. Just tell me who's the bastard that pushed me into the pool." That's funny. That's so good. I love that. I've never heard of that one. That's pretty funny. That was really funny, Devin. Yeah, my dad used to teach me jokes like these. It's a good way to break the ice, he said. He's got a point. Do you know if the man later accepted the rewards? No, it's just a joke. It ends there. I don't like to overthink things, but perhaps there's more to it than you think. Oh, this is classic Yuri thoughts, too. It's like, well, maybe this and that and this. And it's like, no, it's just a joke. Stop trying to make it bad. You can extract a lesson in even a simple story like this. From a joke? A Joke? A joke? Are you joking? This is exactly what I expect from Monika, trying to turn a joke into some philosophical discussion. If I don't pay attention, she might go off and try and define what the definition of it is. It's not that complicated, really. Remember how the man didn't willingly jump into the pool? Although this is an extreme case, it's sometimes necessary for people to be pushed into action. Just like the man who swam across the pool, we can all achieve much more than we think. He was raging and vengeful, but ultimately the person who pushed him helped him take on a seemingly impossible challenge. But he could have died! Yes, just as many other people who take on high-risk jobs. For example, soldiers, firefighters, etc. I hope if you find yourself in a similar situation, you won't resent the person for pushing you to your limits. Don't worry, I won't even get close to a pool if it's filled with alligators. She sweetly smiles at me without replying to me. The next few minutes pass in silence as we walk down on a long street. The architecture of the building here shows that they were built recently. They have a distinctly sophisticated feel to them. It must be an upper-class area. Ooh, I love the CG. I love like the CG photos and stuff. We take a turn in how we are now walking in a more quiet part of the town. The silence between us start to feel awkward, so I decide to speak up. I'm gonna save here because we have choices. And we're also a few minutes off, so I'm not gonna go too far into this. I didn't expect to be here. Do you do anything simply for fun, or do you play? I'm not gonna ask her to play video games because because I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. Monika, something just occurred to me, huh? Ever since I first saw you, there was always something important or useful you seemed to be doing. Organizing, writing, presenting, studying, stuff like that. It's like all you do is stuff for other people would consider work or tiresome at the very least. So I was thinking, do you do anything just for fun? I am enjoying those things, Devin. Well, most of them, but I guess you have a point. I don't usually talk about these things, but I've always been told by my family to spend my time in the most productive manner. If I wanted to play, I had to play a sport, solve a puzzle, practice music, or learn something new. It became a habit, and now it just comes to me without thinking about it. You literally spend every day working and studying. Okay, there is one thing we would call a guilty pleasure of mine, and that is, it might sound mundane coming from me, but I like to watch TV and just shut out all the noise from the world from time to time. Although I don't do it very often, because it's kind of lonely watching it by myself. I'm 99% sure that wasn't a hint directed at me. Even if it was, I don't dare suggest that I would volunteer in a heartbeat to watch TV with her. Now it's your turn to share your guilty pleasures. Would you like them ordered alphabetically or by category? Even if there are many, they can't be that bad. Oh, you don't know who I am. Okay, here's one. I like to play visual novels. There, I said it. Don't worry, you're not alone, although I dislike how the writers often rely on the common stereotypes of the characters within. Do you play them too? Well, not really. It's more complicated than that. I look at her quizzically, waiting for an explanation for an unusual answer. Give me some time to think it over. A minute passes, and she still hasn't said another word. I guess she just wants to drop the subject. Interested to be here, or do you play video games too? No, not the second one. I'm doing this one. You know, Monika, I really didn't expect to find myself here. This sort of big change from what I usually do. Not that I don't ever go outside. I can relate to that feeling, Devin. The way things have been going lately are very new to me as well. Maybe I'm just so tired, or maybe I'm just so used to being in school, and it feels like it's where I'm supposed to be. Thus, being anywhere else, my presence seems foreign. But don't take it as me complaining. These things turning out nicely so far, in my opinion. It's okay. I'm sure most of us feel out of place sometimes. I glance over at her and see her usual confident expression being replaced by something more somber as she walks with her eyes now looking down at the ground. Maybe I can lighten the mood with a relatable story about me, even if she laughs at me instead of with me. It would be nice to cheer her up. Would you like to hear a story about me? Of course. Okay, so now where should I start? This was in elementary school. I was a lot more shy back then. I read a lot of manga, and I sometimes even brought them to school with me. As you can imagine, it was all well and good until a fad came along, and all the kids around me wanted to talk about that all the time. It's not like I had a problem with that game, but after playing it a few times, it became really mundane to me. Reading new stories interested me a lot more. They even pestered me about not joining them, telling me that acting like I think I'm better than them. It really wasn't that. I just wanted different things, and seeing the same things play out over and over in that game just bored me to tears. I paused for a few seconds as I tried to think of a way to finish the story in a funny or interesting way, but Monika interrupted me before I could continue. That's a really nice story. You don't know how much I can relate to that. You can? Anyway, can we just change the subject, please? Yeah, sure. Oh boy, that wasn't like a big slap in the face. We walk in silence once more. I look at Monika and see a determined look on her face. With every step she takes, confidence emanates from her. This whole situation makes me question what her motive can be for walking around with a guy like me. It's not like I'm that great or anything. Even the joke I told her wasn't something I came up with on my own. And just presenting things other than people made in my own way doesn't merit appreciation, right? Suddenly, she speaks up with a soft voice, but without looking at me. Not far now. Oh, I know what she's talking about, because when our first playthrough, she was like, oh, everything's gonna end Monday. So I think that's what she's referencing. I think she's saying, you know, there's like not a whole lot of time left, and it's like, well, not too far now before the game ends. Monika keeps walking around, walking without another word, like she has her sights locked on her target. Maybe she wants to show me an interesting view of this place. She stops wordlessly and leans on the railing, looking over the calmly flowing river deeply below us. I stand in the middle of the bridge and stare out over the water, gripping the railroad with one hand. I hold my breath for a moment, letting out a shaky sigh. My eyes are so closed and I can feel a light breeze brushing past my face. I'm reminded of the sensation of weightlessness. Devin! She suddenly calls out to me with an anxious tone in her voice. Yes, Monika? Oh, you just seemed really somber for a minute. I got worried you were going to start crying for some reason. Don't worry, I'm not like that. Devin, listen to me. I'm glad if you have no reason to be sad now, but you don't know what unexpected turns our lives will take. Even if you don't want to let the pipes loose in front of others, you should find a healthy outlet for the bitterness whenever it's welling up inside. A close friend of mine had this problem and it was eating her up from the inside. I hope you'll never experience that, but whatever happens, remember this. There will always be somebody waiting for you. Her words are unexpectedly touching. I turn back to the river in front of us and enjoy the quiet sound of the wind. She starts taking a step towards me. I hear her walking past behind my back and then she stops. As I turn around, I see her looking at me with an inviting smile. I meet Monika's gaze for a moment. Monika? She tilts her head, motioning me to follow her in her footsteps. Let's go, Devin. I release my grip from the railing, following Monika's lead. I'm going to save it here, because we're 33 minutes into the video, and I don't know what kind of turn this is taking. And I think we're going to save that as a surprise for next video. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's a surprise or not, but it might be. So if it is, then it'll work out great. But for now, I am going to leave it here. I'm really enjoying this. I don't know if I officially started taking the Monika route. I might have accidentally decided to start taking the Monika route this time. I think, and if that's the case, I think what I might do is I'll finish up the Monika route now, and then I'll move on to Yuri again, and hopefully do things a little bit differently and better next time. But if that is the case, we'll just continue Monika. But for right now, I am going to leave it here. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. I'd love it as a channel. Guys, I've got a Discord. Come check me out outside of YouTube. It's going to be a fun time for all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did. I hope you guys in my next one. Goodbye!